Hello everybody, today we're going to see how to crochet the cross stitch. As usual, we're going to start by making the basic rows. It is made by basic rows. The basic row is the foundation chain is made by the foundation chain. I'm going to make 15 chains. Here they are. Obviously I'm going to cut some pieces of this video tutorial because it will be too long. I repeat that when we crochet with this technique we use a long crochet hook and we insert in the second chain hook and we pull a loop again into the next chain and we pull a loop and we keep all stitches on the hook into the next, and again in each chain we insert the hook and we pull a loop. This is the forward pass of the basic row. Here we are. Now the return pass is yarn over and pass the yarn through one loop first, and the rest yarn over and pass the loop through. And now we're going to start the stitch, the cross stitch. As we usually we skip the first. We always skip the first stitch, and usually we work into the second vertical stitch. Now we're going to skip the first two and insert the hook into the third vertical stitch, yarn over and keep the loop on the hook. Now we're going back to the previous stitch we have skipped and yarn over and we take another loop. Again we skip the next stitch and we are going to insert the hook into the next one, yarn over and take a loop. We go back into the previous vertical stitch and we yarn over and work this stitch also. Again we skip next stitch, the next vertical stitch, we insert the hook into the next one and yarn over and take a loop. We go back into the previous, yarn over and take a loop also here. Skip the next vertical stitch, go into the next one, yarn over and take a loop, go back into the previous, yarn over and pull a loop. Again we're going to skip the next vertical stitch, we're going to insert the hook into the next one, yarn over and pull a loop, back into the previous stitch, yarn over and take a loop, skip next stitch, insert the hook into the next one, yarn over and pull a loop, back into the previous vertical stitch, yarn over and pull a loop also here. Again, skip the next vertical stitch. In this case, we are going to cross with the last one. We insert into the last one the hook and go back into the previous and yarn over and pull a loop. The return pass is always the same. The return pass is always the same. Yarn over and pull the yarn through one loop, and for the rest of the stitches, yarn over and pull the yarn through two loops. Yarn over and pull the yarn through two loops. Yarn over and pull the yarn through two loops. Yarn over and pull the yarn through two loops. And this is the return pass, which is the same for all stitches. And to see better the work, now again skip the first two stitches, insert the hook into the third, yarn over and pull a loop, go back into the previous here, yarn over and pull a loop, skip next vertical stitch, go into the next one and yarn over and pull a loop, go back into the previous, yarn over and pull a loop, skip the next, insert the hook into the next one, yarn over and pull a loop, and go back into the previous and yarn over and pull a loop here. Again, skip the next vertical stitch, insert the hook into the next one, yarn over and take a loop, and then go back into the previous and yarn over and take a loop. Skip the next one and go forth into the next one, yarn over and take a loop, and go back into the previous, yarn over and take a loop. Skip next one and to the other next, yarn over and take a loop, go back in the previous, yarn over and take a loop, skip this stitch, go into the next one, yarn over and take a loop, go back into the previous, yarn over and take a loop. And now, as usual, yarn over and pull a loop through one stitch, and for the rest of the row, yarn over and pull the yarn through two loops. Yarn over and pull through two loops. Yarn over and pull yarn through through two loops. Yarn over and pull the yarn through two loops. Yarn over and pull the yarn through two loops till the end, until we have just one loop on the hook. And now we are going to see how to finish off stitches. We work in the same way. Skip the first two vertical stitches and insert in the third hook, yarn over, take a loop and make a slip stitch here. Go back into the second, yarn over and pass the yarn through two loops. Again, skip this stitch, go into the next, yarn over and make a slip stitch, go back into the previous, yarn over and pass the yarn from both loops, skip this stitch, go into the next one, yarn over and pass the yarn through 2 loops, go back into the previous, yarn over and pass the yarn through 2 loops, and we always have 1 loop on the hook. Skip this stitch, go into the next, yarn over and pass the yarn through 2 loops, go back into the previous and yarn over and pass the yarn through the 2 loops, and again skip this stitch, yarn over, insert the hook into the next one, yarn over and pass the yarn through 2 loops, go back into the previous one, yarn over and another slip stitch, skip this one, into the next one, yarn over and pull the yarn through the 2 loops, and go back into the previous, yarn over and pass the yarn through 2 loops. Go back and insert the hook into the previous, yarn over and pass the yarn through 2 loops, and skip this one, go into the last and yarn over and pass the yarn through 2 loops, and again go back into the previous, yarn over and pass the yarn through 2 loops, and that's all. This is the way we work the crossed stitch with the Tunisian technique. Thanks for being with me. Till next time, bye.